Right, royal icing. This is for a Christmas cake or any celebration cake, such as a birthday cake, a rich fruit cake, a wedding cake, anything that will keep for a while. So this is royal icing. I've got in here 4 egg whites, and I'm going to whisk these lightly, and I've got 800 grams of icing sugar here. Now, before we start, we have a decision to make. Do we want the icing to stay soft, like fondant icing, or do we want it to set hard and crisp? If we want it to set hard and crisp, we need to add here 1.5 teaspoonfuls of lemon juice. If we want it to remain soft, like fondant icing, which is what I'm making, we need to add 1.5 teaspoonfuls of glycerine. So that's what I'm going to add now. That's half. So I'm going to whisk the eggs with the glycerine now, lightly. Right, they're all whisked up now and they're starting to go frothy, so I'm going to add in here half of this icing sugar. You do have to be careful at this stage because this stuff flies everywhere, and if you're not careful you can be covered in it and end up looking like an abominable snowman. So I'm just going in the middle first, and what we're going to do, we're going to whisk it all in to make a smooth paste. Now the rest of the icing sugar I'm going to add in you know, small amounts, and I'm going to add it through a sieve just to make sure there's no lumps in. And I'm going to whisk each portion in thoroughly before adding the next. We shall continue like that until it's all beaten in. Takes a few minutes, but it's well worth it. Right, I'm just adding the last portion of sugar in now. Just press that through. So carefully as always, stir it in. Now this should be, when it's done, when the sugar's all in, the exact consistency that it should be. Soft enough to spread, but stiff enough to stand in peaks. So if you made a Christmas cake, you need to brush the top of it with a teaspoonful of apricot jam mixed with a teaspoonful of warm water. Brush that over the top. Roll out the marzipan using icing sugar instead of flour on your worktop. Get it to fit the top of your cake and press it down, and you need to leave it for 2 or 3 days to dry out before putting on the icing. Now this icing, to my mind, is not quite thick enough. This is why I didn't use the whole kilo of icing sugar, because it does depend on the size of your eggs. Now maybe these were large eggs I used, I don't know, but I think that needs a little more icing sugar. So I'm going to put some in again through the sieve. The eggs should be medium. I think mine may have been large. So that's why I didn't put everything in with 5 eggs like the recipe says, because I've had this problem before, and if it's not stiff it will run off down the sides of the cake. It should keep its shape, and it will set. It will set firm after a few hours, but it will, as I say, it won't be the hard, crisp type of icing that cracks when you cut it. This should be the soft fondant type. So I reckon I've added about another 100 grams of sugar to that, and this is looking much better. So that's much better. So I would say I've used 900 grams of icing sugar. Now this should be stiff enough. I would do the top of your cake, and then if you've got any left over, you can also ice the sides of the cake as well. Big enough here for a 9-inch cake, which is quite big. So you can spread it over with a knife. If you want it smooth, use a warm knife to spread it. If you want peaks, just take the tip of your knife. I'll show you. And just do that all over, and it makes little peaks. That will give you sort of a snow effect. So there you go, royal icing. Easy peasy. See you later. Bye.